This question tells me to figure out what text 2 would say about something in text 1. So I like to read text 2 first. This is not a required strategy, but I'm going to do it anyway because I like it. So text 2, like Woolf's other great novels, Orlando portrays how people's memories inform their experience of the present. Like those works, it examines how people navigate social interaction shaped by gender and social class. Though it is lighter in tone, so there's a but, more entertaining even, the literary joke nonetheless engages seriously with the themes that motivated the 4 or 5 other novels by Woolf that have achieved the status of literary classics. So it's similar, right? Like, but there's something different. It's serious, but lighter. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, I don't know. I'm focusing on the but. That's probably where there's going to be some sort of disagreement between the passages, because that's usually how these things go anyway. There's some sort of disagreement. So text 1, Virginia Woolf's 1928 novel Orlando is an oddity, meaning something out of the normal, within her body of work. Her other major novels consist mainly of scenes of everyday life and describe their characters' interior states in great detail. Whereas, Orlando propels itself through a series of fantastical events and considers its characters' psychology more superficially. Woolf herself sometimes regarded the novel as a minor work, even admitting once that she began it as a joke. So I can see what text 2 is going to say. Text 1 is saying it's a joke, right? Being very literal about that. And text 2 is saying it's actually serious. So what is text 2? How is 2's text going to respond? It's going to say, it's going to be like a disagreement, disagree, and probably something about it being serious. So let's see if we get anything like that. That's my dumb summary. So A, by conceding, this is how text 2 would respond to 1. By conceding that Woolf's talents were best suited, I don't love that, to serious novels, but asserting that the humor in Orlando is often effective. Best suited, nowhere in either of these passages is it saying that Woolf was good at one thing and bad at something else. It's saying there's a difference between her works, but that's not the same as saying like, well, she should have never written this, right? That's very negative in a way. So this stood out to me already because it was a comparison. To say someone is best suited to something is a very, very big claim that needs to be backed up with the passage. This is obviously wrong to me. B, by agreeing that Orlando is less impressive than certain other novels, that's a comparison too, by Woolf, but arguing it should still be regarded as a classic. Well, I don't think that text 2 is saying it's a bad novel, right? I mean, he or she is comparing it with other novels, saying that they're kind of all in the same category. It's lighter in tone. It's still serious in other ways. At no point does it say that it's bad. So this kind of almost is the same problem with A, is it's making a judgment about the book that they aren't really making. So I would also be very confident getting rid of this. C, by acknowledging that Orlando clearly differs from Woolf's other major novels, but insisting on its centrality to her body of work nonetheless. Well, I already like, and I don't know that this is right yet, but I really like just to show you the difference between differs and these other two phrases that kind of hit that same spot in the choice, right? To say thing is different is to say it's different. It's not the same, right? It could be different in a good way. It could be different in a bad way. It could be different in just a normal, neutral way. It doesn't need to have a connotation. Whereas both A and B are absolutely taking a side about this book and saying in certain ways that it's not good. That is a much stronger claim, a much more dangerous claim on the SAT than something as simple and as vague as differ. Differ has lots of meanings. It's open-ended. That's what makes it good. Looking at the other part, and that's clearly shown, right? They are saying it's different in certain ways. One's a bit more lighter in tone, so okay, they agree on that. But insisting on its centrality to her body of work. So is it important? Engages seriously with the themes that have motivated her other classics. So maybe. That seems like a strong claim too, but I don't know. I might be able to overlook that because I do like the beginning part. Let's see if D is any better. By concurring that the reputation of Orlando as a minor work has led readers to overlook this novel. Do I really know what the readers are thinking? But maintaining that the reputation is unearned. This feels like a different main character. I don't know if the readers are overlooking it. I guess it does talk about the other novels as being literary classics, but is that what the readers think? I don't think so. Are the readers really mentioned at all? I think this is just getting to a different person's perspective here. maintaining that the reputation is unearned. I also don't even think it's going in that far in that direction either. That would be saying like people think it's not that good, but they're wrong. I mean, I guess maybe it's kind of saying that. I don't know. So this is a common thing, right? I filtered out two choices, A and B, that I really think are obviously wrong. Hopefully you agree. And then C and D, I like C better. I'd love to get it to be more than a feeling though. And so going back to C, what can I prove more easily? I can definitely show that it's different. That's easy. Insisting on its centrality to her body of work, meaning it's an important novel that she wrote, versus, yeah, talking about the readers overlooking it, saying it's actually a good book. I don't know. I feel like I can prove this piece here at the end in C better because it engages seriously with the same themes that motivated her other books. So it should maybe be included in the classics, or at least it's just as relevant. It's hitting the same topics. Yeah. And honestly, even at the beginning here, like Woolf's other great novels, like those works, when it makes the comparison, it's lumping Orlando in with the other books already. So I'm okay with this. I feel like I can prove this better. Maybe this is one I'd throw that little bookmark on and be like, let me take another look at it at the end if I've got time in the hard module, which never happens anyway, but maybe look at it again and just make sure I'm not missing anything. But I would say I'm probably like 85%, 90% sure that C is right. It is the answer. I can confirm that now, but it's definitely a little weaker of a connection than I'd prefer. But I certainly, would be able to get rid of A and B. And then I think, yes, sometimes we just go with the path of least resistance. C to me feels like it's easier to prove than D.